Hello and welcome to my NFL Week 10 predictions. Let's get right into it. First off, we have the Falcons at the Panthers. It feels like we just watched this game happen, and if my memory is correct, I know it was a great game for two pretty bad teams, and I think the Falcons were victorious last time these two teams fought each other. The Falcons were victorious, but it was at the Falcons. Then they go up against the Chargers, and now they're back at it. And the Panthers showed some life. You know, they were getting crushed 42-7, yes. But Baker Mayfield came back into the game and actually led some pretty nice drives for touchdowns. Now, that's not to say that the Bengals weren't really giving it their all, but, you know, who knows? So I think the Panthers will be able to take this one with the home field advantage in another good game, but this time it won't go into overtime, and they will just win it. Panthers have been taking quite a few bad losses, some worse than others. They beat the crap out of the Bucs, which made it look like maybe the Panthers are alive, and then they lost to the Falcons. They got crushed by the Bengals. They've also been crushed by other teams, many other teams. And overall, I think they're going to start recovering after this game, just a little bit. The Cardinals at the Rams, I would hand this one to my team, but, the way they've been playing, I've been favoring them in almost everything. I think the Rams will win. It'll be a close game because the Rams aren't good either, but the Cardinals already played the Rams, and we kind of got shut down 20-12. So I don't think it'll be any different this time. This might even be like a touchdown in the end of the fourth quarter or something. Not much to be said here other than the Cardinals are falling apart. Cliff Kingsbury is shivering his timbers, and the Rams don't look good either, but they have the home field advantage and Cooper Kupp. Seahawks at the Buccaneers. I have the Seahawks dominating this one. Geno Smith and Kenneth Walker III. Dude, Kenneth Walker III might run all over this Bucs defense, and when he isn't, Geno Smith might. This team looks good. This Seahawks team looks very, very good right now, and the Bucs look like they are falling apart, barely taking the victory against the Rams last week, and I think they are going to dominate at the Buccaneers. Vikings at the Bills. This game was kind of difficult because I believe these are the Vikings is overall in the league, I think they are the second best team behind the Eagles. They're the only one-loss team in the league right now. Yeah, they are the only one-loss team in the league right now. There is no other one-loss team. So the Vikings look pretty good, but it's at the Bills, and the Bills are coming off of a bad loss against the Jets. I think it'll be a close one, but the Bills will be able to take it. Josh Allen, he beats himself up, and he'll probably come into this game looking like a really, really good quarterback. And the Vikings also struggled, but they came out victorious last week. I think it's time for the Bills to catch it up. Lions at the Bears. I have the Bears winning this one, not by a whole lot, but I definitely believe that the Bears will win. I'm not too sure about this final score because the Lions can be good on the offense and then they can be terrible on the offense. But I think Justin Fields he's starting to show his worth. That run game, that pass game, he might really run over the Lions. There is potential that this score is way off. Broncos at Titans. Is it just me, or is every Broncos game this year underwhelming? All three touchdowns will be scored by Derrick Henry, and the Broncos will score a defensive touchdown, and Russell Wilson will finally score a touchdown. The Broncos right now, man, I just don't. They are terrible. They are so bad. They were projected to be 12-4 and already 3-5, so that ain't happening. Jaguars at the Chiefs. I I'll give this one to the Chiefs. They came back and won against the Titans. Not a very good team, but dude, this Jaguars team, man, they can do some crazy things. Like, we've seen them compete. We've seen them do some good stuff. Now, this could be an upset, but I think the Chiefs will maintain the lead majority of the game. But I definitely think the Jaguars will make it close. They've nearly beat some of the top teams in the league this year, and they've lost a bunch of close games. The Browns at the Dolphins. I have the Dolphins winning this one by a point. Maybe even give this one to the Browns, because the Browns, we saw them shut out the Bengals. We've seen them do this whole, like, we're good, we're bad, we're good, we're bad, we're good, we're bad type of thing all season. Like, they barely beat the Panthers in the first game of the season. They lose to the Jets by 1 point. Then they beat the crap out of the Steelers. Then they lose to the Falcons. Then they lose to the Chargers. Then the Patriots kill them. Then the Ravens beat them. Then they kill the Bengals. It's like they kind of jump all over the place, and I think they'll put up a good fight against the Dolphins. But I think Tua is too focused on staying undefeated right now than losing to a bad 3-5 Browns team, especially at home. Texans at Giants. I'm going to give this one to the Texans, man. I think the Texans are a little underrated. Their record is not what they are. I think the Giants are heavily overrated. Let's be real. The Giants have they've barely snuck by in certain games this season. They beat the Titans by 1 point. They beat the Panthers by 3 points. They lost to the Cowboys. They beat the Bears by 8 points. They beat the Packers by 5 points. They beat the Ravens by 4. That's a good win. Then they barely won by half a yard to the Jags, and then they got killed by the Seahawks. So to me, it looks like the Giants are scraping by on this record, and they're pretty overrated. Whereas the Texans have actually played pretty well. Now, they tied in their first game of the season, got beaten by 7 points to the Broncos, lost to the Bears by 3 points, lost by 10 to the Chargers. They beat the Jags by 7 points, lost by 18 to the Raiders, lost by 7 to the Titans, and then they kind of got their butts kicked by the Eagles. Although the Eagles are the best team in the league, they put up more points than I expected, and I definitely think that the Texans have a shot at winning this game. And if they don't, maybe they are just the worst team in the league right now. Saints at Steelers. I'm going to give this one to the Steelers. The Saints look really yucky right now. They had a bad loss against the Ravens, and they could bounce back, but I definitely think that Kenny Pickett needs to use this game to show like what he's got. Kenny Pickett's got to go. Kenny Pickett has got to, show his game, get the Steelers fans hyped. He's a good quarterback, man. He is a good quarterback. That is for sure. But he's just made mistakes, and all around, like that game against the Bills, 38-3. They beat the Bengals, lost to the Patriots by 3, got crushed by the Browns. They barely lost to the Jets, barely lost to the Dolphins, and got their butts kicked by the Eagles. Like, they are right there to being a good team, but they just took some bad losses. Kenny Pickett needs to use this game to get some hype into the Steelers. Colts at Raiders. I'm going to give this one to the Raiders, man. No matter how much I think the Colts have got a fine shot at winning, I think the Raiders will finally just take that 24-point lead in the first half and actually win with that deficit. The Raiders have they've gone up in games, they've been up all game, and then they just lose because I don't know how they do it. But Derek Carr, Devontae Adams have shown that they can do stuff on the offense. So is the running back. The Raiders are good on offense. The defense has shown that they can shut down. They just need to maintain that type of play style the whole game, and they can beat teams. And I think they're going to beat the Colts, especially being out Las Vegas. Cowboys at the Packers. I have the Packers winning this one. The Packers have taken some real hard losses, like the loss to the Lions, loss to the Commanders. And Aaron Rodgers is getting all the disrespect right now. Cowboys are a good team, whatever. I think I think Aaron Rodgers will get her done. I think he'll show that he is still a capable working quarterback, and he isn't too old yet. Chargers at the 49ers. I don't have faith in Justin Herbert and his Chargers right now. They just don't look that good. And I think the 49ers are just going to be them. They're really they're 4-4, but they're becoming, we know they're better than what the record says. I believe the 49ers can take care of business, especially being at home. Should be a very easy game. And the Monday night game, the undefeated Eagles will play the Commanders, and I think they will just annihilate the Commanders. Think that A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, oh, brother. I think they'll cover that spread easily. They are just a very good football team right now. Maybe even our potential Super Bowl champs. That would be crazy if they just go undefeated and win it. That would honestly be amazing, because the Eagles is like the team that I like most in their little division. Hate the Cowboys, hate the Giants, dislike the Commanders for changing their name, and then the Eagles are just the Eagles. They're just my most liked team, even though I don't really like them. Just of the four, I like them, so it'd be awesome to see them wipe out their competition. And that's it for my Week 10 predictions. Not much to be said. There's kind of a lot of poopy games, a lot of not fun games. The Vikings-Bills game will be fun, and I guess the watching the Eagles crush Monday Night Football will be fun. Anyways, that's all for me. Adios.